Everybody should have their study guide out on their desk. Make sure the study guide is completed by next class so we can check it and then move on. I'm going to pick and choose problems to go over. I'm not 100% sure which problems you want me to go over, but I'm just going to kind of take a stab. If there are any problems that I don't go over, make sure you have a couple minutes before you take this test to work with the people sitting around you to make sure you are good to go. So if we just really quickly review number 1, tell whether a line, ray, or segment is a radius, chord, diameter, secant, or tangent. So RT, let's see here, RT is this right here. It's obviously a diameter. WT is a ray. It touches my circle once. It's a tangent. PT is a radius. RQ is a line. It goes through my circle twice. It's a secant. QR, notice QR is just a segment, so it's a chord. And PR is another radius. So now let's look at number 3. I think number 3 is another one somebody would want me to go over. It says if AB is a radius, so if AB is a radius, and show that BC is a tangent. So in order for this tangent, or this blue line to be a tangent, what has to be true? Well, it has to form a 90-degree angle. So for it to form a 90-degree angle, I better make a right triangle. So I got to test the Pythagorean theorem. So 6 squared plus 8 squared equals 10 squared. So 36 plus 64 equals 100. 100 equals 100. So, yep, this is BC would be a tangent line to circle A. All right. So let's go down and look at some of these questions. It says 6 through 11, but it looks like it's only 6 through 8. I did not make this worksheet, so the numbering and the counting is not my fault. So it says in circle A, find the lengths of CJ. So I'm going to highlight some of these. Find the length of CJ, which is right here. And AK, if BC equals FG, and AJ equals 5. So AJ equals 5, and I know this chord and this chord are congruent, and they both equal 16. So since they both equal 16, and it's perpendicular to my diameter, I know CJ is going to be 8 because it's half. I know AK is the same distance as AJ because all the center is equidistant from a congruent chord, so AK is 5. All right, so erase this. Let's look at the next one. So it says if arc BD is 4x. Oh, it says, I'm sorry, if I could read, that would probably be helpful. So it says find BD if CD is 4x and BD is 2x plus 40. So because this chord is perpendicular to the diameter, that cuts this and this into 2 equal pieces, which cuts my corresponding arcs into 2 equal pieces. So 2x plus 40 equals 4x. So 40 equals 2x, so x equals 20. All right. Last one, if I can erase some of this. It says find GK. GK is this right here. If all my chords are 20. So that just means it's 10. Because it's perpendicular to my diameter. It forms at a 90-degree angle. So I know that it's bisected. Let's now look at number 9. Would have been helpful if that had moved, but all right. Number 9, it says, use the inscribed angles to find the given information. So I want to find y, z, and angles. So I'm just not going to look at this information. I'm going to go over to my picture first. So I'm going to start with a number. That's 50. That's an inscribed angle, which means this arc over here is 100. If I look at my next number, and I should be using a highlighter. That's an inscribed angle. It equals 35 degrees, which means this arc equals 70. I have another inscribed angle that's right here. Oh, well, again, I know how to use technology. That's an inscribed angle. It corresponds with the arc 100. So that means W is also 50. All right, let's see if I got enough information. It says find the arc of YZ. That's 100 degrees. Find angle YWZ. Awesome. That's 50 degrees. Find arc WX. That's 70 degrees. Find arc WZX. Ooh, haven't found that one yet. Let's find that one. WZX. I already used purple. Let's use gold. WZX. It's an inscribed angle. It uses that arc to make that piece of pie. So it equals 35 degrees. Go ahead and flip your paper for me, please. Let's do 10B. Whenever you see a problem like this, my advice is like if you can go in alphabetical order and see if you can figure something out. So I'm going to start with X. X uses this piece of pie. It uses the arc 81 and 51. So 81 plus 51 makes 132. So 132 divided by 2, because it's an inscribed angle, X is 66 degrees. Since I know what X is, I can find Z because opposite angles are supplementary. So Z is 114 degrees. So now let's find Y. So if I try to highlight my piece of pie for Y, notice that doesn't help me because I don't know what this arc is. So I'm going to now try to do W and hope that that works. Here's W. Oh yay, I got both the arcs. 51 plus 79. If I can type things in a calculator, we'd be good to go. Nope, still can't. Let's try one more time. There we go, I got 130. 130 divided by 2 is 65. So W is 65 degrees. Since I know W, I can find Y because opposite angles are supplementary. So Y is 115 degrees. Alright, let's keep going. Number 11. Notice number 11. What kind of angle is this? This kind of angle right here. It's an inscribed angle because it's on my circle. So it relates to arc 164. So 164 divided by 2 is 82 degrees. So angle 1's 82 degrees. Here I would work backwards on B. I would multiply 113 by 2 and get my answer. If I look at C, I'm going to find this arc. So 135 times 2, I get 270. To find this arc right here, subtract it from 360. I get 90. Let's look at 12. 12, I'm given angles. Let's find X first. What's my piece of advice when you have an angle like this? It's an interior angle. Draw a bow tie. 85 plus 57 over 2. Oh man, I just can't even use this thing. Divide by 2. I get 71. So X is 71. So I could do the same thing to find Y, but what other relationship do I know between X and Y? They make a linear pair. So 109. If I look at C, it's an exterior angle, so 220 minus 140 over 2. I get 40 degrees. I'm saying X, but it really should be angle 1. Let's keep going. Let's do C. 13C. Outside times whole equals outside times whole. X squared plus 4x equals 12. Oh, I got a factor. How do I know? I have an x squared and an x, so I got to subtract 12. X squared plus 4x minus 12 equals 0. Factor, 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 factor. Factors of negative 12 that make 4, positive 6 and negative 2. So I get x equals negative 6, x equals 2. Can't be negative, so x is 2. Let's look at 14b. Write the standard equation of a circle. So it's going to always be the opposite of your center. So x plus 3 squared plus y minus 4 squared. And my radius is 5, so equals 25. Remember, r squared can never be a decimal. If it ever is a decimal, you always have to round to the nearest whole number. Let's keep going. Now look at 15. The point negative 3, 1 is on the circle, and my center is 2, 3. So I know my center. I got to find my radius. I got to do the distance formula. Negative 3 minus 2 squared plus 1 minus 3 squared. I get 25 plus 4, which equals the square root of 29. If I know how to use this calculator, didn't like me today. 5.4. That's my radius. So, x minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals 5.4 squared is a decimal, round to the nearest whole number. I get 29. If we go down and we do number 18, number 18, graph, my center is 2, 4, my radius is 5, so I'm going to go and plot 2, 4. I can't plot very well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And connect my dots. I hope your circle looks 12,000 times better than mine. Let's do 19. If this is my radius, which is 4, this right here is my radius, which is 4. What do I know about a radius and a tangent? It makes a 90-degree angle. So 4 squared plus 8 squared equals x plus 4 squared. So I have 16 plus 64. I get 80. Scribble this out, copy it again. Double distribute. X squared plus 4x plus 4x plus 16. So 80 equals x squared plus 8x plus 16. I got a factor. X squared plus 8x minus 64 equals 0. Factors of 64 that make 0? Huh, I don't know any. So you have two choices, my friends. You may either do the quadratic formula, or you may complete the square. I like completing the square, so I'm going to complete the square. Put all my variables on the left, put all my constants on the right. Complete the square. Half of 8, 4, square it, 16. Factor. X plus 4 squared equals 80. Solve for x by square rooting. Square root, square root. The square root of 80 is 8.9. So x plus 4 equals plus or minus 8.9. Subtract 4, subtract 4. X equals negative 4 plus or minus 8.9. And then I would type these values in my calculator and get my two answers. Negative 4 plus 8.9, negative 4 minus 8.9, and I would get my two answers. If you don't like doing this method, excellent. You can do the quadratic formula if you would like to. Totally up to you. Let's keep going. Let's do 22. 22, if I look at my piece of pie, inscribed angle, 28 times 2, I get 56, which makes this angle right here 56 because it's a central angle. 180 minus 56, I can do a linear pair. I get 124. So I know that this arc is 124 because it's a central angle. And I am looking for angle C. So 1/2 of 124 is 62. If I were to look at number 1, no, if I can count, how about that? How about number 23? I have this arc and I have an interior angle. So I gotta find this arc out here with my interior angle before I can find my exterior angle. So I'm gonna call that X. I'm gonna do 142 plus X over 2 equals 93. So 93 times 2, and then I'm gonna subtract 142 from it. That's 44. So now I can do angle 1 by doing an exterior angle. 142 minus 44 over 2. Oh my goodness, I can't type today. Divide by 2, I get 49. Number 24 is exactly like number 1 on your warm-up. Outside arc minus little arc, it has 2 pieces, put it in parentheses. All over 2 equals outside angle. Multiply both sides by 2. Distribute the top. 26x minus 5 minus 7x plus 2 equals 18x plus 8. Clean up. 19x minus 3 equals 18x plus 8. So I'm going to subtract 18x, I get x. I'm going to add 3, I get 11. If I look at 25, this arc is 242. To find that arc, subtract from 360. I get 118. And then I would do the exterior angle theorem. Flip your paper. 26. You're standing 14 feet from the edge of a cylindrical tank and 26 feet from the point of tangent C. What's the diameter? I have a tangent secant. 26 squared equals outside times hole. 26 squared, 676 equals 14x plus 196. Subtract that 196 from 676, I get 480. Divide by 14. I get 34.3 equals x, which means that's my diameter. 29, length of EFG. Length, arc, over 360 times 2 pi r. My arc is 160 over 360 times 2 pi r. My radius is 7, so 14 pi. So 160 divided by 360 times 14 times pi. Looks like the calculator I'm using does not have the pi button, so times 3.14. Answer might be a little off. I get 19.5. If I were to leave this in terms of pi, I would do 160 divided by 360 times 14 and then smack pi on wherever it was. Let's do 33. Area of a sector. Arc over 360 times pi r squared. 65 divided by 360 times 16 pi. I get 9.1. Last but not least, let's do 36. Write the circle in standard form. So I gotta put this in standard form. Group all my x's together. Leave a blank. Group all my y's together. Leave a blank. Send my constant to the other side. Complete the square. Plus 49. You magically added 49 over there. You gotta magically add 49 on the right. I get plus 25 when I complete the square of my y's. I gotta add 25 to the other side. Factor twice. Oops, not y. X plus 7 squared plus y minus 5 squared. So negative 65 plus 49 plus 25. I get 9. So, what's the center? Negative 7, 5. What's the radius? 3. Hopefully I answered all your questions. If I didn't, make sure you take the next couple minutes and go over them with your partner.